Do you like pushing up like a Victoria's Secret model on the runway?
Yeah.
Do you like applying dots like a rancher is jolly?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy certain death like the loose ladies in horror flicks?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Terrific! Then Murky is the hero for you. Alright guys, let's talk turkey first. If you're going to be paying for Murky via gold, it's going to set you back 10,000 gold. For a cash transaction, it's $9.99, which puts him in the top tier hero pricing. To note, at the time of the recording, Blizzard in the store currently has a bundle available for Murky and the Grunty Murloc skin, or Grunty Murky skin, for $15, which is a discount of 25% total between the two. It's normally $20 retail value. Just for price comparison, so you guys know, that is the lowest percentage discount of any bundle that Blizzard has offered in the Heroes of the Storm store. So just to note for that. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into his basic abilities. So his Q ability is Slime, which releases an oil. Essentially, it's a player-based area effect with a very short cooldown, 4 seconds. It does damage, and it also reveals any stealth enemies, which is key, and a 20% movement reduction for 8 seconds. Again, to stress to you, it is a very, very short range. His next ability is Pufferfish, and that is a 9-second cooldown, and that launches a Pufferfish at the targeted location. After 5 seconds, it will do damage to an area, and if it is a structure, it will do 4 times the damage that the regular Pufferfish will do. Enemy heroes can attack it to disarm it. However, after the 5 seconds, it will destroy. Now, to note, this is an extremely long-ranged ability, and this is what really helps Murky push the lanes and do some devastating damage to structures. You can actually launch the Pufferfish outside of the defensive range of any defensive structure. So you could launch on a tower and a gate combo, or even the core, without it seeing or detecting you and firing back. So you could safely actually do some damage while pushing, and you could see how that's extremely useful. The next ability is his E ability, which is Safety Bubble on a 14-second cooldown, and that simply makes him unstoppable and invulnerable for 2 seconds. While active, of course, with any of the other invulnerabilities, Murky cannot cast or use abilities. And finally, his last default ability is his D ability, which actually sets him apart from pretty much any other class or hero in the game, and that's a Spawn Egg. And what this does is it places a Murloc egg at the targeted location, revealing the nearby area, and if Murky dies, he's going to respawn at the egg after 5 seconds. What the tooltip doesn't mention is that it also does not count as a death against you. The team does not get a full XP of your death. And yeah, if you notice in the lower left hand corner of your UI, you will receive a new egg icon, which will show you the status of the egg, whether or not it's fully functional, slightly damaged, or destroyed. When it's destroyed, you obviously will get a full death and whatever the current time penalty is for resurrection. So keep that in mind and always keep an eye on your egg. So yeah, to note, Murky has a really low defensive trait about him. The character is almost kind of based around death. It's very simple for him to get overwhelmed really easily, and yeah, you don't want to be getting a full death penalty. One of your responsibilities as Murky is to have an egg in a close enough location that you can get right back to battle, but at the same time safe enough that it doesn't get destroyed, because it is on a 45-second cooldown. If you go ahead and spawn an egg and an enemy comes and kills it within 10 seconds, you got to wait another 35 seconds before you can get an egg out. So that's just something to keep in mind, but it is also the very much the signature ability of Murky. Alright, now let's go ahead and start talking about talents. At level 1, also for the talents, I'm going to assume that you have unlocked the level 8 talent structure that gives you the extra talents in the game. So level 1, you have Demolitionist, which gives you basic attacks against enemy structures, destroys 2 ammos, and deals an additional 10% damage to the enemy structures. It sounds good on paper. Murky's health is so low that you don't want to go up there and auto attack anything that has ammo. By the time you have to, ride in or walk into the defensive structure, you're going to be taking a couple shots. You're going to get maybe 1 or 2 shots off, and then you got to get out, whether it be through the safety bubble or running out. You're not going to be doing basic attacks much. It's really for the pufferfish, so it's not as good as you would think it sounds. Toxic Ooze increases your slime buff duration by 2 seconds. Bigger Slime increases the slime area by 30%, and Bribe is the standard rule set that you find in Bribe for everybody. Now, for me personally, I would say either one of the 2 slime options are your better choice. If you feel as though the distance of the slime that it goes is big enough, then by all means use the debuff duration increasing with Toxic Ooze. However, it is very, very, very small range. It's melee range. I like to go for the bigger slime area just to make sure that even if you think you're right on top of them, you may still miss. I like the extra range personally. So those are my choices for level 1 talents. At level 4, you have another 4 choices. You have Minion Killer, which will deal 25% extra damage to minions and mercenaries. Out with a Bang, which when you die, will cast a pufferfish at your current location. Envenom is a 60-second cooldown that poisons an enemy hero, dealing 180 damage over 6 seconds. At base, at level 4 base, it increases with level, and Promote follows the standard Promote rule set. For me personally, I actually like Envenom. It, especially at the higher levels, is a really, really strong dot of at least 25 to 30% of a hero's life. So it is a 60-second cooldown, so it is a little bit longer, but I've used it so many times now to put it on a hero as they're fleeing away, and it kills them as they're retreating. To me, Envenom is the choice. Minion Killer is also pretty viable. I'm not a huge fan of the on-death result or on-death abilities. I don't like wanting to get a bonus for getting myself killed. Even though Murky, you do die a little bit more, I'm still not a fan of the on-death abilities getting triggered. Level 7 gives you 5 talents. Block, which follows a standard rule set. Assault Egg, spawn cooldown reduced by 25 seconds, and egg health is increased by 200%. Slimy Egg, which is another on death, which slime casts automatically upon death. Wrath of Cod, pufferfish increased structure damage now applies to all enemies. So the 4 times damage that you get from the pufferfish on structures now goes to all enemies, whether it be mercs, minions, or heroes. And Clairvoyance is a standard rule set. For me, every time this is a no-brainer. Wrath of Cod is huge. The 4 times bonus. Even if a hero disarms every one of them in a team fight, when you're doing an anti-push against hero or against, say, merc camp, when they stay fixed, you got to remember the mercs don't attack the pufferfish. Only heroes will. So if they're planted and they're just throwing away their boulders, the pufferfish will hit them, and that extra 4 times bonus is just a no-brainer. You can't pass it up. Ultimate Time, level 10, you have 2 options. March of the Murlocs, which is an 80-second cooldown. And he commands a legion of Murlocs to charge a target direction, and each one leaping to the first enemy hero they find, and then it deals a scaling amount of damage and slows the target by 15%. Now, the other thing that's also key about this that they're not mentioning is that the Murlocs will keep going in a straight direction. So, not only is this terrific for team battles when you're going against heroes, but you could point those Murlocs in the direction of, say, a tower, a fort, the core, and those Murlocs will put a dot on top of the structure for each one that they hit. So it is incredible for push ability. Octograb is the other option, and it's a 45-second cooldown, so it is shorter. And it summons an octopus and also you to stun the enemy hero for 3 seconds while you poke them for absolutely no damage, pretty much. The downside to this is that you actually have to go... It'll warp you to the hero. It's like a fast charge, and you're holding him in place for 3 seconds. You can't do anything. You're just poking him for the 1 damage a second that you see here. This may work well in extremely coordinated groups where you have comms, and you could say grabbing hero X, and they can immediately burn it down, and it becomes pretty much an insta-kill. 3 seconds of the hero not being able to do anything on a coordinated attack is going to take him down. However, it completely locks you out of the thing, and if you're in a team battle, other people are going to be able to see that, and given how vulnerable you are, you can get torn to pieces while you're not able to move. For me, 100% of the time, March of the Murlocs, awesome ability. Level 13 gives you another 5 options. Spell Shield periodically reduces the damage received from hero abilities 50%, stores 2 charges. Tougher Fish gives your pufferfish one additional attack before it gets disarmed. Bubble Breeze gives your safety bubble a 30% increased movement speed. Bubble Machine decreases the cooldown by 5 seconds from 14 to 9. And Hidden Assault is, after respawning out of an egg, you're cloaked for 10 seconds and also increases your sight range of the egg by 150%. For me, I choose one of the two bubbles options. Normally, I like Bubble Breeze. I like to be able to get in, do whatever I want to be able to do in the short amount of time, whether it be slime, auto attack, get a pufferfish out, and I want to be able to get out. And the Bubble Breeze with the 2 seconds, that extra 30% movement speed really gets you kind of out of dodge and makes a chase situation really not ideal for anybody that's engaging you. Bubble Machine is also very good, especially if you're finding yourself in a lot of hero fights where you want to use the bubble. And at this point, by level 13, you know how much you're going to be using the safety bubble. The 5 seconds is pretty key. It's about almost a little bit more than a 50% reduction on the time. So 14 to 9 seconds, you make the decision. Usually for me, it's Bubble Breeze, but Bubble Machine is also a very good option. Level 16 4 options. Master of Slime increases your slime debuff by 3 seconds. Pufferfish School gives you a second charge of Pufferfish, which can actually be cast in succession after a 0.5 second cooldown. So you can pretty much launch 2 at a time, and then your cooldown triggers to reload. Beneath Contempt, after using Safety Bubble, Murky will not be attacked by minions or towers for 5 seconds. And Blood for Blood is actually an active that steals 15% of the target enemy's max health and slows its movement speed for 3 seconds. For me, 100% of the time, Pufferfish School, especially at level 16 where you're at the higher levels, the Pufferfish do so much damage. I believe at level 20, you're looking at about 1,300 and change damage for each Pufferfish. So with this chart, you're actually going to get a 2,600 bomb, a 2,600 damage bomb every 9 seconds. It's a huge ability. The Blood for Blood is cool, but again, you don't want to be standing toe to toe with these heroes. And yes, it will help a team battle, but the two pufferfish, and remember also in team battles, when you're launching the pufferfish into the team battles, each one that they have to disarm is time that they're not auto attacking or casting abilities on your other team heroes. So even the second charge of that, even if it does not go off, is actually a benefit to the team battle. So for me, Pufferfish School, 100% of the time, it's an easy choice for me. And finally, you have 4 abilities for level 20, actually 3, depending on your ultimate that you choose. Bolt of the Storm activates to teleport to a nearby location. Swift Storm no longer dismounts from taking damage, and it increases your movement speed. And really, the no-brainer choices here are the buffs to your ultimate, just like pretty much every other character in the game. Never-ending Murlocs, they go farther, and they cling to targets 2 seconds longer, so you're going to get a 25% damage boost on top of it, and you have a longer range to cast it, and for them to leap to other heroes and stuff. And this is a no-brainer. And Octograb gets a Shark 2, which increases the damage of Octograb by 10,000% according to the tooltip. The tooltip in level 20 says, I believe it's like 30,000%. Essentially, it's an insta-kill on a hero. And that's cool, but you have to wait till level 20 to get it. And by then, you should be the amount of damage and stuff that you can do with Never-Ending Murlocs. I still like the March of the Murlocs, Never-Ending Murlocs combo. But if you do have a recent good Octograb, either one, the level 20 choices are absolutely no-brainers. And those are Murky's talents, guys. It's a really unique class to play. The first couple games, I had a really tough time, and I was just kind of sending myself into the slaughter. I was forgetting to top off the eggs. And as I started playing them a little bit more and I understood the kind of methodology behind it, what I like to do is I like to get in and get out when you're doing team fights. The slime, when you hit the slime, especially when a whole group of people are clumped, it's huge. You can really, really change the tide of the battle. By keeping that dot on them, and the dot gets strong as the levels increase, and the movement speed, so you're going to be able to outmaneuver them, and they're getting dots applied. And you have your pufferfish that when they go off, I mean, you're talking thousands of damage times 2 if they go off, or it requires about 3 whacks without the talent, which I don't recommend getting. So, I mean, you're talking about 6 total talents by level 6, or 6 total auto attacks that you're going to be taking away from the team battle, or they're going to eat the bomb. So he really can actually switch the tide of the battle. I could tell you, just myself, when I push a lane, if everything else is going smoothly and I don't really need to help the team move somewhere, if they're able to kind of manage on their own, there's been times where no other lane has gotten past the towers, and I'm already past the 2nd level of defense and breaking onto the gates, going towards the core already. And with the range of the pufferfish, it's just incredible that you can go in, XP the lane with the minions, cast your slime on them, back out, throw your pufferfish onto the turrets, and it's just you can make a ton of XP, and you can really change the tide of the battle with Murky. It's a great hero. I highly recommend him for either the 10,000 gold or the $10. The bundle skin price, I say the Murky skin is nice. It's worth the $5. I personally don't think I would buy it. I'm gonna buy it myself because since the bundle doesn't really apply to me, I use the gold. I'm not gonna spend the $10, not because I don't like the skin, but I actually like how the standard Murky looks. So, yeah, it's a good deal. But listen, guys, if you guys like the new format with a little bit more editing for the character previews, let me know. Leave a comment below. And if you like this video, like and share it out, guys. Let other people you know that might have interest in it, show them the video. Bring people into the channel. Only you guys can help me grow this channel. So, and I appreciate everything you guys do. So, anyhow, as always, you can follow me on Twitter @dimdoes, facebook.com/dimdoes. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.